Welcome in, everyone. Happy Tuesday. We're going to be doing some GED math. So if you know anybody that's struggling to pass the math GED, please share this live with them. Double tap your screens for me as you guys are coming in. Welcome in, everyone. And we're going to be doing the algebra part of the GED tonight. We're just going to be practicing some algebra sections out the GED. I hope everybody had a good day today. Thank you for the double taps. All right, let's get started. So it says find the value of 3 of this when x equals -2. So what that means is whenever I see an x, I'm replacing it with -2. And then we're going to replace 3 for the y. Wherever we see a y, we're going to put 3, okay? So we're going to rewrite it, 3 parentheses 2. Now, whenever you have a number attached to a variable, remember that's multiplied. So we're going to replace this with a parenthesis because that's multiplying. 2 times -2 minus 3. Keep your parenthesis. Plus 6. 3 minus 5. And don't forget that's over 3 here, okay? So this becomes a order of operations. We start always with our parentheses first, okay? So we have 2 times -2, which is -4 minus 3, okay? That's all in parentheses. We're going to drop down our 6, and then 3 minus 5 is -2. And that's still over 3, okay? We have another parenthesis here, so we're going to work with inside our parenthesis, and we're going to get 3 times -4 minus 3. Remember, it's like you owe somebody $4. You say, let me get 3 more. You owe them 7 plus, and then we'll just copy this down, okay? We're going to do it step by step. Over 3. Now, this is multiplying, okay? And then this is division. So 3 times -7, or if you see it as 3 and 3, these can cancel right away. And then you're just left with -7. Plus 6 times a -2 would give us a -12. And so -7 minus 12 is -19. Let me know in the chat if you understood that. Put a double tap. Are you confused? Do you have any questions? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Any questions? Thank you for the share, Chrissy. Thank you. All right, no questions. Let's go to number 4. So it says, find the value of this big old expression when x equals 1 and y equals 4. Okay, so when x equals 1, we're going to put a 1 in place wherever we see an x. Okay, then y equals 4. Wherever I see a y, I'm plugging in 4. Okay, so now let's plug and chug, right? So we have 30 times, because whenever you have a number attached to a variable, remember that's multiplying. We're putting 1 there. Plus 2 times, we're going to replace that with 4 squared minus 3 parenthesis 1 minus 2 squared. All right. Can you guys put in the chat, what do we do first? What are we going to do first? Thank you for the double taps. Thank you for the follow. What do we have to do first? Are we going to multiply, add, exponents? Good. The one said exponents. Wonderful. Parentheses. Yes. So we're going to start with we start with our parentheses. So we're going to do 1 minus 2. And that's going to give us a -1 to the squared. Then now we can go and do our exponents. Okay. Now I want to explain something here because this is very different. When they talk about parentheses, they're talking about where you have an operation to do inside the parentheses. This parentheses is like grouping versus this parentheses just means multiply. So there's a difference, because a lot of people are like, oh, I have to do this first. Well, you can't do nothing inside the parentheses. So really, when it says parentheses, you're looking for like an operation to do inside the parentheses. I want to make that clear, okay? So now let's go to exponents. So can you guys put in the chat, what do we get when we get 4 squared? What's 4 to the second power? What do we get? 16, 8, 16. Yeah, 16, 16, 16. Okay. This is where you want to make the mistake. Here in this live. Yes, make it here so that you understand it. So remember, this means that you're multiplying this base this many times. So, I mean, you're doing 4 times 4 here. Okay, so this exponent tells you how many times you're multiplying the base. So 4 times 4 is 16 times, and we're going to drop down that 2 plus 2 plus, and then we could really do 30 times 1, which is just 30, okay? And then here we have another squared. So we would do -1 times -1. Well, negative times a negative is always a positive. So this will be times 1. Okay, perfect, perfect. Now, we have multiplying here, multiplying here. We have to do that before we start adding and subtracting. So 16 times 2 is 32. And then -3 times 1 is -3, okay? And we're going to drop down this 30 plus 2. Now, you have to be careful here. You have to, whenever you have addition and subtraction, you have to work from left to right. Okay, so we would get 30 plus 2, which would be 32, plus 32. So 32 doubled is 64. We're going to drop down this -3, and we would end up with a 61 there. So, and we would end up with 61. Good, princess. Thank you for the double taps, everyone. Can we try to get to 5K double taps, please? Any questions on this one? Yes, Jen, I do tutor. Email me at impactmath19@gmail. Also, you guys.com. Okay. Also, I post these videos on my YouTube. Thank you so much for the rose, EGK. Thank you, thank you. Wait, it's EGK? It's EGR value. Thank you. I appreciate you. I also post these on my YouTube page at Impact Math 19. Okay, so if you want to replay, you want to look back at it, go follow me over there as well. I post all my lives on YouTube. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the roses, EGR. Okay. So now we're going to identify whether each is a monomial, binomial, trinomial. Okay. And all that's like, what are we even saying? Right? Okay. A monomial, mono, is where you have no addition or subtraction. Bi means you have one operation. It's either addition or subtraction between 2 monomials. And a tri is 3 different terms. So you might have addition, or addition and subtraction. So what do I mean by that? Let's this first one here, okay? This here, even though you have all these different letters, there's no plus sign or minus sign between them. So this is a, if you saying it, monomial. Okay, this is a monomial because it has no addition or subtraction separating it. B, yes, let's go in the chat. I see you, monomial, good. Number 2, we have x squared plus x squared. So is that a monomial, binomial, or trinomial? Let me see your answer in the chat. What do you guys say? Is it a mono, bi, or tri? Binomial. Furry flap. Yes. Bye. Yes. Because we have a 1 and a 2. It's separated through an operation. So this is a binomial. Wonderful. What about number 3? What about number 3? What do you guys get? Try. Yes, good. 1, 2, 3. It's 3 terms, and it's a trinomial. Yes, good. So number 4, we have 1, 2, 3. So it's a trinomial again. Don't let this XY fool you. That's one monomial together, okay? It can only be separated, the terms can only be separated through addition or subtraction. And then number 5 is going to be a binomial. And number 6, binomial. Perfect. Good. So now we know the names. Monomial, binomial, trinomial. Hopefully we understand what they're talking about, right? Because we're going to need that when we start getting into adding polynomials, subtracting polynomials, multiplying. We're going to get into all that. Oh, thank you so much, LLC, for the heart me. I appreciate you. Thank you, Princess, for the rose. Thank you. Thank you, Kimberly, for the roses, for the rose. Okay, so let's simplify by combining like terms, okay? So let's first talk about what like terms are. When you're explaining like terms, you're thinking about the same letter for one, and they have to have the same exponent, okay? So the same letter and the same power in order for them to be like terms. So here we have an x squared and a negative x squared. So those are like terms because they have the same variable and the same exponent, okay? Now we have a plus y, which is different. And we also have a negative 3, which is different, okay? So whenever I'm teaching combining like terms, I always say for my people that struggle a little bit with dyslexia, coloring really does help the mind and breaks things up. So I know it helps me a lot. So I have other students where it helped them. Get you some highlighters, start highlighting, okay? So here we have 1x squared. Every time you have a variable, there's a 1. There's an imaginary 1 in front of it. If it helps you, put it. So 1 minus 8 gets us negative 7x squared. Okay. Then we're going to drop down our pink because we only have one of them, and we only have one of the orange. So we're going to drop that down. And this is our beautiful trinomial. Okay. Thank you for the double tapping the screen. Thank you for the shares. Thank you. Okay. So somebody said how. Are you saying how is this? Well, you're combining the coefficients, the numbers that are in front of the variables. So you start off with $1, you spend $8. You're going to be down 7. Okay. All right, let's go to number 2. So I'm going to highlight my like terms. These are like because they have the same letter, okay, with the same exponent. What do we get when we combine these? Can I see it in the chat? What do we get? Thank you for double tapping, everyone. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the shares. 22y. Yes, let's go. Ooh, somebody gave me the whole answer. 22y, and they dropped down the minus 7. Perfect. Beautiful. Good. All right, let's go to number 3. So remember, don't let all these letters start throwing you off. We're looking for the same letter with the same degree. So this is x squared y This also is the x squared y, okay? Here we have a plus 4y squared and another y squared right here. And then we have a negative 21 and a negative 2. All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Green, for the roses. Thank you, hun. So we have 9 minus 3 is going to give us 6x squared y. Okay. Can you guys tell me what we get in our yellow? Put it in the chat. What do we get in our yellow? What do we get? Ooh, somebody said plus 5y squared. Justin, yes. Okay, so plus 5y squared. Beautiful. Remember, there's a 1 right here. They're never going to put it. You have to know that's a 1. And then what do we get for this? Well, what do we get for our oranges? Negative 23, 23, neg 22. Okay, yes, negative 23. Perfect. Remember, you keep your sign. You're going more negative. Don't forget your sign. It has to be negative. Beautiful. All right, good. Okay, let's keep on going. Okay. So we have, okay, we have a x squared, an 8x squared here. I'm trying to see, do I have any other x squareds? Yep, 1 right here. Then I have a negative 4x. Do I have any other x's? A 7x. Okay. We have a positive 7 and a negative 2. Those are like terms because they have no variable attached to them. And then we have this lonely x to the third. Okay. A negative plus a negative equals a positive. No, so let's make sure that we understand that. A negative plus a negative equals a negative. A negative times a negative equals a positive. So this one is like, somebody said, let me borrow $100. Then they said, let me borrow 100 more. Well, it doesn't get positive because they're going to owe you $200, right? Versus this one, we can't really use in real life. This one is like negative times a negative equals a positive. Good. Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Good. I'm glad we cleared this up. Okay. All right. So, is somebody giving us the answer? So we have 4x to the third. Good. So 4x to the third, our lonely purple. Then plus 7x squared. Good, Z. Plus 7x squared is our pink because 8 minus 1 gives us 7. Perfect. And then plus 3x. Ooh. So negative 4 plus 7. Well, 7 minus 4 gives us a plus 3x. Beautiful. And plus 5. Z, let's go. Yes, Z. This is some beautiful math. Yes, thank you, Z. Wonderful. All right, let's do number 5. Okay. So we're going to start with our negative x squared, our negative 2x squared. Then we have this x term and an x. And we have this lonely 5 right here. All right, let me see what you guys get in the chat. Let me see what you guys get for the purples. So Esme said negative 5x squared minus 4x plus 5. Beautiful, Esme. Yes. Crazy that this is a little nostalgic for me. Oh, boom, I love it. So negative 3 minus 2. Somebody owes you $3. They said, let me get 2 more. They owe you a total of 5. X squared. Good. 6 minus 10. is negative 4x. And then since we just have one pink, we drop it down. And this is our answer. This math hurts my brain. Yeah, with all the letters and the numbers, right? Mixing it together. So we have a 9x squared here. And we have a negative 2x squared. All right. We also have this negative 3 to the x third. And we have a plus x. Okay. So that helps us look. We only really have two things to combine, right? We have a 9 minus 2. So Emma said 4x plus 1x. Emma, where you at? 3x. 3x squared. Where you guys at? I'm seeing negative 3x squared. So we have 9 minus 2 is going to give us 6x squared. And then, oh, I see what you guys are doing. You guys are dropping the red down first. Negative 3x to the cube. And then that's a plus. And then we have just plus x. I was seeing square, but I should have been seeing cube. The ring light is blinding me, you guys. No, it's 7, not 6. Where are we at? Are you guys on this one? Oh, up here? Are we up here? 4. Let me see. 4, 5. Where are you guys at? What number are you guys on? 9 minus 2 gives us 7. Oh, thank you. Thank you. 9 minus 2 does give us 7, not 6. Thank you. Thank you. I was like, where are we at? Thank you. Thank you. So 9 minus 2 gives us 7, you guys. So we have negative 3x cubed plus 7x squared plus x. Thank you. Thank you. Chocolate, don't be confused. I just minus 3 instead of minus 2. So 9 minus 2 gives you 7 instead of a 6. Lucky, my mistake, my mistake. All right. Thank you. Thank you for catching that, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So we're going to do some more. Okay. We have some more crazy ones. It gets crazier and crazier. Then we're going to go to adding. Okay. That's our next thing that we're going to. So let's start with highlighting. We have an a to the 4th, a negative 5a to the 4th. Okay. Remember, like terms are when they have the same letter and the same exponent. Okay. We have a plus c to the 2nd, negative 2c to the 2nd. And then we have this plus 3ac and this plus, let me see, what color haven't I used? We'll just leave it colorless. Okay. So 1a to the 4th minus 5a is going to give us negative 4a to the 4th. Okay. That's my yellows. So these are gone now. We have, you guys tell me, what do we get for our purple? What do we get for our purple? I have a question. Does the term change if there's no term in the other? C. Does the term change if there's no term in the other? So like if there's no other like term, no, it just stays the same, if that's what you're asking. Negative 1c squared. Good, you guys. Yes. 1 minus 1 gets us a negative 1c squared. Now in the actual multiple choice test, they won't put a 1 there. So you have to be able, if you're using 1, like if you're putting it there, you have to be able to notice it in the multiple choice way. They're never going to put a 1 in front of that, okay? Just making sure that everybody understands that, okay? Then they're going to drop down this 3ac because there's only one of them. And this 5 drops down. And this is our polynomial. Okay. Thank you for the double taps. Thank you for the follows. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, FJ. Thank you, thank you. All right, so let's do number 2, you guys. Let's do number 2. So how do we use it now? He said, how do we use it now? What do you mean? How do we use what? Let me see what you're saying. Oh, you're such, oh, thank you. All right, let's go to the next. I don't see any questions. So we have 19xyz, and we have a positive 3yz, okay? We also have this negative y and this plus y. We have this plus 6. I'm like, where's my orange? Oh, there it goes. And we have this plus x, okay? So, ooh, Bree said 22xyz. Yes, 19 plus 3 is 22xyz. Love it. Okay. And then Bree said plus x, because we have the 1x orange. Okay. Negative y plus y. What happens to that? What happens to that? The y's cancel out. 0 cancels out. Good, you guys. Yes. Because this is like negative 1 plus 1. So they cancel out. If they cancel out, we cannot put a y. Because some of my students mix that up. It's like, okay, 0y. No, we can't put 0y. Thank you, JS, for the rose. Thank you so much. So plus 6, okay? When it's 0, it's just, don't write it. Don't put the 0y. It's just going to be gone. And that's it. Thank you, JS, for the heart. Thank you. All right, let's do number 3. Okay, so we have a P right here. We have a negative P here. Okay. And this is why I say highlight, you guys, because like I looked at this P, but I was like, oh, that's different, right? Because it has the Q next to it. And here, this has the 3PQ. This one just has the negative Q and the negative Q. And we also have this negative 3 and this plus 7. All right. Let's talk about it, right? Thank you, Little, for the roses. Thank you. P minus P cancels. Okay. What do we get? Oh, okay. I was just about to ask that. I see the 4PQ coming in the chat. Wonderful. I see 4PQ plus 6. Okay, so 4PQ. I think we're all on board with that. So 1 plus 3 is 4. Perfect. Now, my question is, what is this? What do we get? Victoria! Yes, I see you guys. Negative 2Q, negative 2Q. Beautifully. Don't forget the negative. Negative 2Q. Yes, these do not cancel out. It gets more negative. It's like negative 1. Somebody owes you $1 and they say, let me get one more. They owe you $2. So our yellow is gone. And then everybody was in agreement with the plus 4. So this would have got a couple of us tonight, but don't worry, it's not going to get us on the test because we're going to recognize that mistake. Okay, yes. Good. Good. All right. Okay, so now let's go to adding. All right, wonderful, you guys. Remember, for all the new people that are coming in, I do post my lives on YouTube at Impact Math 19. Okay. So this will be posted on my YouTube like tomorrow. And then if you're looking for tutoring, hit me up at gmail.com. Okay. I have some day slots available. All right. Thank you for the follows, you guys. Can everybody take a second to double tap their screen for me? Thank you for sharing. All right. Okay. So, yes, I'm so glad I can find you on YouTube. Oh, thank you. I know my watch hours have been going up, so I appreciate you. If you have been watching, like I'm 30 or less than 30 hours away to being monetized on YouTube. So I'm super excited. So if you have been supporting me over there, I really appreciate you. Thank you, because my watch hours have been going crazy this last month. So I appreciate you. My YouTube is Impact Math 19. Okay. All right. So let's do some adding. So the good thing is when it says adding, all we're doing is combining like terms, really. So we have a 5A. We have another A here. Okay. We have plus 5B minus B. And then we have plus 4C minus 4C. So hopefully that's ringing in somebody's ears. We know what to do with that. And a negative 6 plus 6. Now, look at this little sneaky guy right there, right? We're going to leave that as is. Okay. So 5A plus 1A gives us 6A's. Okay. 5B minus 1B gives us plus 4B's. Okay, 6A plus 4B. Oh, I see 6A plus 4C plus D. Don't forget the 4B in there. Can you explain again what is a polynomial? Yes, I will. So basically a polynomial is a mixture of numbers and variables. They call them variables, letters. That's what it is. Numbers and variables that add up or subtract together that are bigger than 3 terms. That's what a polynomial is. So I'll show you what this is gonna. So these are polynomials because they're 1, 2, 3, 4. They're bigger than 3. So this is a polynomial because you can't combine them as is, and they're 4 terms or bigger. So I hope that kind of explains. They're monomials, okay, together, added or subtracted. Okay, 4 minus 4 cancels. Negative 6 plus 6 cancels. Don't forget that plus D there that we didn't highlight. And that is our beautiful answer. Thank you so much, Resilient, for the roses. Thank you, thank you. All right, let's go to number 2. So we have a PQ, a 6PQ here, plus 6PQ. Now, does everybody understand why I am highlighting the sign that's in front here? I have to do that because then if I look at PQ and I just look at 6, I don't know what I'm doing with them unless I take the sign with them. So make sure you do that as well. Oh, somebody's saying it. Amanda, 7PQ minus Q, 7PQ minus Q. Ooh, okay. Then we have the yellows. Oh, so everybody sees the 15 cancels. That's wonderful. Good. All right, so we have 1 plus 6 is 7PQ. And then see how we only have 1 pink? We just drop it down. And this is our answer. 15 minus 15 cancels out. Goes away. Okay. All right. Beautiful. You guys are on it tonight. Let's go. Okay. All right, beautiful. You guys are on it tonight. Let's go. Okay, squared. And this lonely guy right here, a negative b. Okay. So, oh, what do we get here? Negative b plus 2bc. 2bc minus b. Beautiful. Oh, let's talk about that. Are these the same answer? 2bc minus b or negative b plus 2bc? Are these the same answer? Yes or no? Let me see it in the chat. Are they the same? No, yes. Yep. Yes, yes. No. Ooh, no, no. Okay. This is a common debate, right? They actually are the same. And let me explain why they are the exact same thing. Here we have a negative b. We have a negative b. Here we have a positive 2bc. Here we have a positive 2bc. So this, like somebody said in the comment, it's just reversed. They switched order. So they are exactly the same thing. Now let me explain why it wouldn't be the same if we wrote it this way. Okay, let's talk about why we wouldn't if we wrote it this way. Now if I went, this is a huge no. This is not the same as this, and this is not the same as this. Why they are not the same is because you flipped around this positive 2bc, which was both positive in both of these, down here to a negative. Thank you, JS, for the rose. Thank you, thank you. So that's why this is not equal to this or this. But these are the same in the green. So I'm glad we had that discussion because depending on how you solve this, right? You could have solved it this way or you could have solved it this way. Both ways are right, but both ways are not in standard form, okay? The negative 2bc doesn't correlate with the 2bc since it's a negative. Yes, I loved math, but now I don't remember much. I know. Once you stop practicing math, it goes away like quick, but hopefully like it's starting to like little simmers here and there starts peeking through. But yeah, if you don't practice it, it's like, what is this? I learned this. Are you sure? So you add the positive and subtract the negative and positive. Wait, so what's your question? So you add the positives and subtract the negative and positive? Okay, we're going to actually do it so we can actually. So 9 minus 9 cancels out, okay? 1 plus 1 BC. How many BCs do we have? We have 2 BCs, okay? Then we have 1 positive c squared minus c squared. So 1 minus 1, they cancel. And then we're left with our 1 purple, which is negative b. And that's how we get this answer. Ask your question again because I'm not quite understanding it. Thank you so much for the roses, 733. Thank you, bands, for the roses. I appreciate it. I think she is confused on the parentheses. They are negative to subtracting. Oh, so you're taking the sign that's in front. Oh, thank you for the heart. Thank you, thank you. So you're taking the operation that is attached to the number. So I look at this as 9 minus 9. Plus, plus. So that's how we get the 2. And then a positive plus a negative. So this is 1 minus 1. It cancels out. I hope that clears it up. Thank you, yo, for the roses. For the person that asked, can I do y equals mx plus b? Yes, I can do that on another live. Again, I post these GED on my YouTube, so I try to stick to one topic so that it can go up as a video that people are just studying the GED test and they don't have to get all the other stuff. Thank you, Bands, for the roses. Thank you, thank you. All right, now this is not only on the GED. This is on the ACT, SAT, what else? ASVAB, HESI, TEAS, any type of test you're trying to take, you're most likely going to see this on there, okay? They love to do the subtraction one over the addition. And let me tell you why they like to do it. Because a lot of people forget how to distribute. Okay, so step one, you have to distribute the negative. Okay, this is a -1. And so what we're doing is we're multiplying a -1 to everything in this parenthesis. So that's why all the signs flip. So a negative times a positive is a -2BC. A negative times a negative is a positive C. A negative times a negative is a positive 7. Listen to the key word I'm saying. We're multiplying, not adding. It's a different rule. Okay? So whenever we multiply, a negative times a negative is a positive. Okay? Now, since this doesn't have a negative in front, we're going to drop everything down like it is. So we get BC squared plus BC plus C minus 7. All right. Now, we just go straight to what we've been doing this whole time, combining like terms. So we have a BC squared, right? Okay. We have a plus BC and a -2BC. We have, what else do we have? We got a plus C and a plus C. And lastly, we have these -7 plus 7. All right, tell me what JS said. We get -BC. Beautiful. Yes, JS. 1 minus 2 gets us a -B. Oh, wait. BC. What is this? 1 minus 2 gets us a -BC. Okay, I'm looking at the reds. Okay, so I'm crossing that out. Beautiful. And then, see how we only have one yellow? So we actually need to drop that down. BC squared. Because we only have one, so we're not combining it with anything. We have a 1C plus a 1C. That gives us 2 C's in our oranges. And then we have a -7 plus 7, or 7 minus 7, cancels out. And this right here, yes, is your beautiful answer. Don't forget this 1C plus another C. We have to get the 2 C's. JS said, yeah, I was correct. Good. Good. Any questions on this one, you guys? Okay, could we do C squared instead of 2C? Oh, thank you for that question. Band, yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk about, oh, thank you, Bands, for the roses. Title gifter, thank you, thank you. So let's talk about that. How do we get C squared versus 2C? There's a difference. Thank you, Cherry, for the roses. Thank you, thank you. This is how we get confused. Okay. In order for us to get a 2C, we have to do C plus C. In order for us to get a C squared, we have to do C times C. So unfortunately, since we were adding the C's, we can never get C squared because we're adding them. We can only get 2 C's. You add the coefficients. See, remember there's an imaginary 1 here, there's an imaginary 1. So 1 plus 1 is how we get the 2. We're not multiplying, so we can't get a C squared. That was a beautiful question. Thank you for that. Oh, Tay, yes, good. I'm glad I'm teaching something. Thank you so much for the rose. Thank you, you guys. Any questions anymore? Could we do BC? Oh, that's a good question. Thank you so much for the roses. Okay, could we do BC times BC minus 1, parenthesis, plus 2C? Okay, so you said, could we do BC times BC minus 1, okay, plus 2C? Ooh, yes. Remy, yes. We could do that because you're just oh, wait. Can we do that? No, we cannot do this. No, and let me explain why. Okay, let's talk about that. Ooh, you guys are bringing the questions. If I distribute this back in here, right? B times B, BC times BC gets me B squared, C squared. This right here is already different from 1B to C squared. So that's why this fails. It does work over here where we say BC times -1. We do get that BC there, but it fails it right in the beginning when we do BC times BC, which is different from here. Thank you for the roses. So we cannot factor this. We can't factor out a BC. We can only factor out. Oh, they have both a B and a C in common. So why is it not working? Why am I tripping? B. Oh, if you were to factor this out, we could factor out a B and we could factor out 1C. But when we divide it here, right? If we just divide it here, we would get, this would cancel and we would get a C here. That's the only thing that would be left was a C minus, let me put B. This would all cancel and go to a 1. So if you factor out a BC just here and then drop down the plus 2C, this is how you would factor it out. We are going to get to factoring, you guys, after we do when we start division, okay? Because that is factoring. This is actually from the GED test, okay, where you have the multiple choice. So we'll get there. So let me see. Nah, that's all I got so far. So we'll end with multiple choice. But so I just wanted to explain that to you. Oh, sorry, I'm missing all the messages. 24. Okay. You could only factor out an A and a C. Yeah, you can only factor out a B and a C. But we don't even need to do that, right? Because this is really our answer. BC squared minus BC plus 2C. Because they're not asking that. All right, let's go to number 2, okay? Always start with distribute. So we're going to change our signs. So we get -4 xy. And then a negative times a positive goes to a negative xyz. Okay? This has no negative sign in front, so we just drop it down. So we're going to drop down xy plus xz minus xyz. Okay? Whew. Okay. Oh, okay. What? She already said that, sis? That is wrong. Yeah, that's why I said no here. We can't do that. I said no. I answered a couple of questions. So let me make sure if you're looking back at this, what the true answer is. Let me write it right here. It was BC squared minus BC plus 2C. This was our original answer, okay? Just wanted to make sure if you're watching that back, okay? All right, so now let's combine like terms. Is this algebra 1? Thank you so much for the rose, Shay. Is this algebra 1 or algebra 2? You know, it just all depends. I feel like it's algebra 1, but some people feel like this is algebra 2. So I couldn't tell you to be exact. This could be honors algebra 1. Okay. Thank you so much for the gifts. So we have an XY in this. Then we have a plus XZ. Okay. And then we have these. Okay. Now let's talk about it. Okay. What do we get when we just get for the XY? What's our coefficient on the XY? -3. Bree said -3 x, -3 xy. Beautiful. 1 minus 4. -3 xy. Good. Okay. Bree also said plus xz. I love it, Bree. You're on fire. Yes, let's go, Bree. -1 minus 1. -2 xyz. Yes, and that right there is our answer. Oh, somebody said, Anne said my son is doing this in 7th grade honors class. See? Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Yes, you could do this in honor. It just all depends your track. Oh, thank you, Arlene. Do you have videos? Oh, thank you, Bands. You are loving on me. Thank you, thank you. Do you have any videos on ratios? Yes, Shay. On my YouTube page, I have a whole mini lesson on ratios. Impact Math 19 on YouTube. Okay? Yep. Nah, word problems used to tear me up. Oh, let me tell you. Oh, it was like a nightmare when I even sometimes choke up, and I have a whole bachelor's degree in math. Okay. And still word problems are like, what is it actually asking? So do not feel that word problems are like, if you don't see the patterns in them, it's like, kind of hard. So we're going to distribute here. So we're going to get -2c squared plus 3d minus 35, okay? Again, we have no minus sign in front, so we're just going to drop this down. C3d7 plus c squared minus d plus 35. All right. Okay, let's start combining them like terms, right? We have one of those. We have two of these. Doop. M right here. And then we have a -d and a plus 3d. And then lastly, we have these 35s. Positive 35 and a -35. So hopefully something's popping off in your head. Okay. So 1 orange. I automatically know I'm just dropping it down. Okay. Now my pink. What do we get for the pink? -c squared. Yes. 1 minus 2 is a -c squared. Beautiful. And then plus 2d. -1 plus 3, or 3 minus 1 is a positive 2d. And our yellows cancel. And this 35 minus 35 cancels. And that's it. And I'm telling you, you will see this on your ACT, HESI, TEAS, ASVAB, all the tests. They love doing this subtraction one, okay? So just don't forget to distribute all the way through. That's what messes up people. All right. How we feeling, y'all? Are we still ready to go? Let me see. Are we falling off? How we feeling? Thank you for the follows. Can we, how many likes are we at on this live? Oh, we at 21.5K. All right. Can everybody double tap their screen? Show me you want to continue. I took the ASVAB laughing out and got an 88. Good. Oh, bands. I wish I could have. Oh, I'm going to screenshot that. That is my first money gun. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's go. Thank you, Vans. Oh, thank you. I was in the Army for 5.5 years. Oh, I love it. I was gonna go to the Army. And then, you know how they ask you, like, are you going to be willing to, and I was like, oh, this is not for me. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I wish I would have just went through, but the actual thought of the possibility of, doing some of the things that you have to do in case you go to war is just like, it's not for everybody. Yeah, it's not for everyone. Yeah. But I would be having when I bought my house, I could have been having a free, all those military benefits. Yeah, somebody said true. Yep. Guard life. Yeah, see, it's all in how your brain looks at it. Like guarding life or, the other way. I don't know. VA home loan. Yes. I have a couple of cousins and my sister-in-law, she's in the Army and she's a recruiter. And it's just like, it's a blessing. I mean, their life, it's good. It's good. It's pros and cons to everything that you do, right? To every job. But I'm grateful for the freedoms and the service that people do for me. Yes. All right, let's multiply. Okay. Now let's talk about how we multiply variables, right? Because this is where people get confused on if it's squared or 2 or what, right? Whenever you multiply variables, you add the exponents, okay? So here we have A times 9BA. Well, we have no A over here, so we just combine everything. 9ABC. That's it. 9ABC. We just put it all together. It's never going to make sense in your brain because it's like 9 times A. What are we even talking about, right? When anybody asks you a letter times a number, you squish it together. You just put it together. It's never going to make sense in your brain. Don't try to make it make sense. Just put it together. Okay? We don't multiply the A to the B. Yes, we do. That's exactly what we're doing. All this between this is multiplication. That's why they say whenever you have a number attached to a letter, they're multiplied together. And whenever you have a letter attached to a letter, they're also multiplied together. So all this is multiplication. It's 9 times A times B times C. We just squish them together. We no longer write it like 9 times A times B times C. When you get higher in math, you get rid of that symbol. You might put some parentheses, but they're never going to write it like this either. They're always going to just write it squished together. That was a great question. Can the answer be 9BCA? Yes, it can. The answer can also be 9BCA. But let me tell you, how we know what goes first in which order is always alphabetical order. So if this was a multiple choice test, most likely it's going to be in this form here, then this form. But they are the same. Great question. Great. All right, let's go to number 2. Okay, I say take this step by step. 5, this is a coefficient. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay. X times x. Remember, this is x to the 1 times x to the 1. Whenever we multiply variables, we add the exponents. So we get x to the squared. Good. Okay, so I see x to the squared, y to the third, z to the fifth. Beautiful, you guys. 1 plus 2 is y to the third. Z is 1 plus 4, z to the fifth. Perfect. Any questions on that? Any questions? Thank you, Steady, for the heart me. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's keep on going then. Number 3. So we have 4 times 1 is just 4. We have an A. We're just dropping down the A. We have a B times a B. Thank you for the roses, you guys. So we have a B squared and we have a C squared. And this is our monomial, right? This is a monomial. Thank you for the roses. This is a monomial, remember? Because it's just numbers and letters put together. Okay. So we also want to use the math language so you get comfortable when they say, oh, is this a monomial, binomial, trinomial, all that, right? Okay, so number 4, 17 doubled. That's how I look at this. Is $34. Okay. F squared times F gets us, we have 2 here and we have 1 here. So that's 3. Okay. We have only a G, no G over here, so we just drop it down. And we have H to the third, H to the fourth. H to the 7th. Good. Yes. Okay. My units does too, but it's not the same. We get simple orders. A lot. Oh, okay. Good. All right. So this is monomial on a monomial. Okay. What we just did. Now what we're going to go to is a monomial times a binomial. We're going to use that distributive property. Thank you so much for the headpiece. Thank you. All right, so we're going here, okay? 10 times 7 gets us 70. We have a z times an x to the 7th. Remember, put it together. Just put it together. X to the 7th, z. And I'm writing x because x comes before z. That's why I'm doing it that order, okay? Oh, thank you, Shay. Yes. So now we have 10 times a negative 5. So we have negative 50, z times z. How many z's do we have? We have z to the 2nd. We have 2 of them. So we get z to the 2nd. And that is our beautiful answer. All right. You guys put number 2 in the chat for me. Put number 2 in the chat. What do you guys get? Thank you for the roses. JS said z plus 6zxy. Z plus, yes, let's go. Beautiful. 1D, thank you so much for the rose. Okay, yes. Okay, so negative times a negative is a positive. Z times z is z squared. Negative times a negative is a positive. Let's do that first. We have 1 times 6 is 6. And then we have a z, x, y. So x, y, z. Boom. We just squish all those letters together. That's our answer. Good. And everybody got their sign right. Remember, a negative times a negative is always a positive. So we had to change them to positives. Okay. Good, you guys. All right, let's do number 3. 8 times 9 is 72. We have an A. B times B is B to the second. 8 times 8 gives us 64. AB. I'm learning this right now, so thanks. Oh, you're so welcome. Good. I'm glad I could be of help. Good. All right. Perfect. Okay. So we have one more monomial times a binomial. Then we get to the binomials times the binomials, which sometimes throws people off a lot, or sometimes they see it, okay? So we have that. We have binomial. Do we get to division pretty soon? Yes. Okay. And then the next page, we start doing division. Okay. So we have a couple of more multiplying, division. And then we're actually going to practice some on the GED test, because this is what it would look like. Multiple choice. The GED test is multiple choice. And these are from the actual practice GED test. Okay. All right. Okay, let's knock these out. So -9 times a -2 gets us a positive 18x to the 4th. -9 times a positive 3 gets us a negative 27 xy to the second. And that is our answer. All right, let's go to number 2. Now, how I was taught was the distributive method. But I really love the box method. And I don't know if you've seen it, but I'm going to show you it tonight, okay? I just feel like it really helps. It really helped my students when I taught it this way. So this is times, okay? And think about that old school multiplication chart when you were in elementary school. So you would write this first binomial 3x, and then the 3 would go here. And then this binomial would go up top, 3x and a 5. And then how you figure out this box is you would multiply these two together. So 3x times 3x gets us 9x squared. Okay. What do we get in this box? Can somebody tell me in the chat? What do we get for this box here? Oh, somebody said, oh, you put it in the inside? We were always told to put it on the outside of the box. Ah. So instead of having this little box right here, it would just be outside and you just have these little 4 inside? Is that what you're saying, Shay? 15. Ooh, what do we get? 15. Ooh, okay. So we would do 5 times 3x. Don't forget that x next to it. It's 15x for that box. Okay, Diego, yeah. So 3x times 3 gets us this box. So 3 times 3 is 9. Drop down the x. Okay. And then here we would do 3 times 5, which would give us this box. 3 times 5 gets us 15. Now we're almost done. But what you have to do, you have to write out these inner 4 boxes horizontally. So you're going to put 9x squared plus 15x plus 9x plus 15. Now this goes back to combining like terms. Jit said 9x squared plus 24x plus 15. Yes, let's go. Yes. So we would have 9x squared. 15 plus 9 gets us a positive 24x, and then plus 15. And this right here is our beautiful answer. Yeah, you're so welcome. No, thank you for putting the answer in the chat. Beautiful. Good. So this is called the box method. I don't think they usually teach this way in college. They usually teach it distributive method or FOIL. So what? Oh, let me see. So what was your question? Wait, how'd we get that answer? We multiplied here. We multiplied all the boxes. And then we took our inner 4 boxes and wrote them out. And then we combined the middle because those are like terms and dropped it down. And we had to drop this down. And that's how we got our trinomial. So this is called a trinomial, you guys. When you're factoring, you're just going backwards. So you're going to break this down to here. All right. Okay. All right. Good. Okay. Okay. What happens? Oh, okay. What happens if there's 6 numbers? Like, what do you mean if there's 6 numbers? Like, if this is longer, then you just extend the box and you still just line them up. So let's do this one, okay? So I'm going to make a box again. Okay. And we're going to do here, here, and then we're going to go here and here. So we have y to the second, -6. This is the times, so we know what we're doing in our box. Y to the 4th and 10, okay? So for this first box, y to the second times y to the 4th. Remember, you add your exponents. So we get y to the 6. Okay. Y to the second times 10 gets us 10y to the second. -6 times y to the 4th. We just put it together. -6y to the 4th. -6 times 10 gets us -60. Okay. Remember,